Chelsea might have finally just solved their biggest problem from midfield. Now, to answer why, I need to go back to the start. So back in the days of Lampard, when Jose Mourinho was there, Lampard was putting up numbers, 10 to 15 goals, 10 to 20 goals every season. He was incredible. And in those days, it wasn't just a reliance on Drogba scoring. Drogba was scoring, you had the wingers scoring, you had Lampard scoring. So it was a variety of players. The responsibility for the goals was spread around the pitch. As I'm sure you know, Chelsea's got a major problem scoring goals. And it's something that's been there for probably the last 10 years, ever since Diego Costa left the club. However, I've got a theory, or should we say, we've seen a theory already before on how to solve the problem, and I think it's something that we can use again. This theory actually comes from Mourinho, and it's some advice that he gave to Drogba when he was struggling at the club. So in Drogba's autobiography, he had this advice from Mourinho. He said to him, if you want to be the only king at the club, go back to your old club where you can score 100 goals or so. But over here, there's 22 kings. So you should accept it, work together, or go. So why is that relevant to today? So I have a theory that Chelsea's been over-reliant on the striker scoring for far too long. Probably over the last 10 years. And I believe that this is actually the key. So what Mourinho was saying is actually the key to how we can unlock the striker problem. I propose that maybe the problem isn't the strikers. The biggest problem is actually the team. And once the team can start scoring together, the wingers scoring, the midfield scoring, and the striker scoring, once everyone can start scoring, then it's a different team. And so I propose a different theory. So I suggest instead of relying on just the striker to score, the wingers scoring, the midfield scoring, if everyone can start scoring, that'll make a huge difference. And that brings me to my next, when we think about Frank Lampard. Back in those days when Mourinho was around, Lampard was putting up numbers. Minimum 10 goals per season was coming from central midfield. The central midfield at Chelsea, if I put up the statistics, the goals have been really lacking. If you look at non-penalty goals from the central midfield for the last 10 years, it's been very low. This is an area that we can exploit. This is an area that we can improve. And that brings me on to my next point. Chelsea have just brought back the young Italian maestro, Mr. Cesar Casadei, who was on loan at Leicester. And Chelsea have also brought back the young Brazilian Andre Santos. Now I believe that this is a stroke of genius. So Cesar Casadei recently scored 7 goals at the Under-20 World Cup, making him the top scorer. And also he was able to get the Golden Ball Award, which is basically the MVP for the tournament. Now that's really significant because when you look at it, he's a midfield. He scored those 7 goals from midfield, which is incredible. But I think when you look at him, when you look at his play, he seems to have a very good ability in terms of arriving in the box, timing his run in the box, and finding space in the box. And also his headering in the box is also very strong. And I think that this could be a very effective weapon for Chelsea. And it's something that, if I can compare to Lampard in terms of the goals, is something that was very, very useful. Someone that can get maybe 10 goals a season at Chelsea. Chelsea's not had that for the last 10 years, as I said. But with Casadei now, Chelsea's now got a player that can come in, that can score goals. And the midfield at the moment is not scoring enough. The centre midfield in particular is not scoring enough goals. And he's someone that can help to score more goals. And also with Santos coming in, he's another one with an eye for goal. He in his with his Copa America Under-20s tournament, he was one of the top scorers as well. He's another one that's got an eye for goal. So with these two coming in, I believe Chelsea now have a midfield that can score goals. That, if they can come in maybe in a 3. And in addition to that, that will now take the burden off the striker. So instead of the burden being solely on a striker to score, now we can expect the midfield centre to be scoring again, the wingers to be scoring again. Palmer's doing brilliantly, fantastic. The wingers to be scoring, but then also we're expecting midfield goals. And that will now lower the burden on the striker. So back to that Mourinho theory in terms of 22 kings, exactly. We can focus on having 22 kings. So it's not just a focus on the striker scoring. The midfields can score, the wingers can score, can get more goals. It lowers the burden. It's a team. Chelsea can work better as a team to score and win games. So that's my theory on our striker situation. That actually one of the ways that we can help to solve it is to score more goals for other places on the pitch, i.e. especially the centre of midfield. That's my theory on Chelsea. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And also be sure to subscribe. And we'll see you next time.